Hi, this is Garrett with Gwitting Reviews, and it is time for a review of the new Remi Wolf album, Big Ideas. Remi Wolf is back with her sophomore album. I remember listening to her debut album Juno back in 2021, and while I had some issues with it, I was very impressed and captivated by her charm, her charisma, and her powerful voice. Now, with Big Ideas, Remi continues down this path of upbeat, colorful bops, though with a slightly different sonic palette. Like Juno, this album mixes elements of pop, soul, and funk, but while Juno also mixed in elements of hip hop, Big Ideas brings us rock and neo psychedelia. There's more emphasis on guitars here, and I think this shift pays off. Sure, this album is quite varied stylistically, but the production, songwriting, and vocals are consistent enough to make things cohesive. Plus, there are some fantastic bops in the midst. Cinderella is one of my favorite pop songs of the year so far. The groove is infectious, the vocals are soaring, and the chorus is brilliantly written for how seemingly nonsensical it may be. Soup and Toro are also quite groovy, and they make me bob my head with each listen. Alone in Miami and Cherries and Cream go for a more rock sound, the former being more emo-tinged and the latter sounding like this grand 1970s psychedelic prog rock jam, and they're both very well executed. Kangaroo is, no pun intended, one of the bounciest songs on the album, and that saxophone solo at the bridge is killer. Wave is one of the most melodically satisfying tracks on the album. And the closer Slay Bitch slaps in a way that is very self-explanatory based on the title. As for negatives, similarly to Juno, this album does lose steam by the end. There's this feeling of Remi trying to be as bombastic as possible, and while it is great, it does get a little bit exhausting by the end. This project also has a few duds, namely the two shortest songs, When I Thought of You and Just the Start. They feel like structureless demos that really did not need to be here. If you cut these two tracks, the album would have been a lot stronger. Also, Frog Rock sounds like an Oliver Tree song. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, you be the judge of that. Anyways, Big Ideas is a really good follow-up. I'm not entirely sure which of Remi's two albums I prefer, though I will say that Big Ideas has higher highs and lower lows. But still, if you want fun, colorful, and charismatic pop and soul, then you can't go wrong with Remi Wolf. Definitely check it out. 7 out of 10, closer to an 8 than a 6.